So now our chocolate sponge has come out of the oven. It's been cooling for about 20 minutes. We're going to flip this one over. And just carefully remove that silicone mat. We're just going to cover that with a tea towel and set that aside to completely cool, so for maybe like another 20 minutes or so. So let's cut this chocolate sponge. I'm going to dust a little bit of confectioner's sugar over the top just so it's not so sticky. So I'm going to be using my guide. We are doing 8.5 by 15 centimeters. And as you can see, our sponge is very elastic. See how I can twist it? Now with each piece of our sponge, we're going to cut the edge off just so we have like a wrap, and this is going to help us when we roll our cake. So on a 45-degree angle, we're going to start cutting maybe from like maybe 6 millimeters or so. So we have kind of like a ramp at one end. So now we can go ahead and start putting our cream and rolling up our sponge rolls. So we want to take about half of our cream and just spread it along the center. And just use an offset spatula to spread that out, leaving about a 1 centimeter gap both at the top and the bottom. So once that's even, we're going to take our offset spatula and just kind of swipe down on either end. That's where we're going to finish our roll, and then this part we're going to start the roll, just so we have less cream at the beginning and at the end, so it's not going to squeeze out. And then starting at the end, we're going to carefully roll up our sponge cake. Now that they're rolled up, you just want to swipe off that excess cream, fill in the gaps. I do find the chocolate sponge is more delicate than the plain sponge, but don't worry if you can see a little bit of cracks. They will all be covered up when we put our glaze on. If you have any deeper cracks, you can just put a little bit of cream inside. So I've just pulled my chocolate sponge rolls out of the fridge. They've been in there for about 4 to 6 hours. You can also put them in the freezer for about an hour to firm them up. So they're ready for our glaze. So I've already prepared my glaze. Now, if the container is a little bit too small, you can transfer it into something a little bigger. And I've got a couple of forks here that's going to help me dip in the tray with some baking paper. So let's get dipping. You can also just do this with some gloves as well, if you prefer to do it that way. And just let that excess run off. So I'm just going to transfer those into the fridge now for about 20 minutes just to firm up, and then we can do our final decoration. So I've got my chocolate snack rolls ready. They've been chilling in the fridge, and I'm going to decorate them now with some chocolate. I actually just melted some vegan white chocolate and dark chocolate together to kind of get like a milk chocolate. I just want something slightly contrasting so we can see it a little bit better. And I've just made a little piping bag out of some paper. gonna trim the edge off here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And I'm just gonna do some zigzags on these ones. Some little stripes. I think that's nice. You can see a slight contrast with the color. Okay, so in the fridge for like 20 minutes or something, just for them to firm up before you can serve them. So now that our chocolate Swiss rolls have had some time to chill a little bit, I'm going to put them on my pastry cards now, and I've just got a little bit of glucose syrup. I'm going to put just a couple of little dots on each card just so they stick and won't move around. Now, any chocolate that's pulled at the bottom and any of our garnished chocolate, I'm just going to go around with a knife and just trim that up before we transfer over. I thought it'd be fun to put a little bit of gold leaf on there just to make it a little bit extra. So I'm just going to get in with my glucose syrup and just put a tiny bit just to help it sort of stick. Okay, so they're looking very extra now. We have our edible gold leaf on there. They're all on our cards. Now, what's great about these cakes is they do last a long time in the fridge. So I would say 7 to 10 days. They're going to continue to stay very moist. And yeah, absolutely delicious. It's a great take on the nostalgic Little Debbie's Swiss roll cakes, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to take some photos now and so you can see the inside.